Gentlemen, if you haven't woken up with firmness in the morning for weeks, months, or even years, I need your full attention right now, because I'm going to tell you something your doctor has never said out loud. Erections don't start in the bedroom. They start while you're asleep. If those nighttime surges aren't happening, your performance during the day doesn't stand a chance. And yes, after 60 this can change fast. But here's the part nobody tells you. It's not because you're old. It's because your body has forgotten how to generate the hormonal and blood flow signals that used to happen automatically. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to turn those signals back on, naturally, with a simple 2-minute routine that costs less than a cup of coffee, and uses oils you may already have in your home. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use a hybrid combination of transdermal magnesium and castor oil to reignite testicular testosterone output, restore that automatic morning firmness, boost nerve sensitivity during intimacy, improve confidence and performance naturally. This is not a pill. This is not a gimmick. This is giving your body what it needs to do what it's always been designed to do. And I am going to walk you through it step by step. But first, I want you to hear this clearly. If your nighttime erections have faded, that is not a small issue. It's a biological warning sign that your testosterone rhythm is shutting down. And that rhythm is everything. Now I'll introduce myself quickly, because trust matters. My name is Dr. Mei Anderson. I've spent more than 25 years helping men restore sexual function and hormonal health without relying only on drugs. I listen to men. I fight for their quality of life. And I know how deeply performance changes affect confidence, relationships, even identity. You deserve answers. Real answers, not a rushed prescription and a pat on the back. So let's get straight into the value, because I respect your time. There's a reason 30-year-old men wake up hard almost every single morning. Their body's time testosterone release perfectly, so the highest surge happens between 2 and 4 a.m., right in the deepest stage of sleep, REM. But after 60, something shifts. Your testosterone factories, the Leydig cells inside your testicles, don't die. They go dormant. Like a powerful engine sitting in cold weather. They need warmth and fuel and a signal to wake up. And what delivers that fuel? Blood flow, micronutrients, nerve activation. Yet, this is the painful truth. Blood vessels in the testicles and perineal region become narrower and less responsive with age. The nerves that trigger arousal become quieter. Hormone pulses become weaker. And suddenly, the surges disappear. No surges, no morning wood. No morning wood. Erectile tissue literally loses elasticity. Lose elasticity, performance anxiety spirals. Anxiety, more failure. More failure, intimacy fades. It's a brutal cycle. And too many men tell themselves, that's just aging. No, that's not aging. That's neglect. Because the system can be reawakened. So let me give you your first win right now, within the first 2 minutes like I promised. If you apply magnesium oil directly to the scrotal skin before bed, your testicles absorb it more effectively than any supplement you swallow. Scrotal skin is up to 10 times more permeable than the skin on your arm. Magnesium gets directly into the tissue where testosterone is made. This gives the Leydig cells the raw material they need right when your brain sends the hormone signal in the middle of the night. Men who do this correctly often notice their first subtle changes, tingling, warmth, fullness, in just a few days. But we're not stopping there. Because magnesium wakes the cells. But castor oil activates the nerve routes and vessels below the testicles. Especially the perineum, the small muscular area between the scrotum and anus. That spot is a control hub for erections. Inside are the pudendal nerves that carry pleasure signals to the brain, and the arteries that flood the erectile chambers with blood. That area gets stiff, not in a good way, as we age. Massaging castor oil into that tissue relaxes it. It improves circulation. It reawakens the nerves. And it helps trap blood in the penis once it arrives. You combine these two together. Magnesium to restore testosterone rhythm and castor oil to restore blood flow and sensation. And suddenly your body remembers what to do again. Let me make something very clear right now because I always want to be responsible with your health. I am not saying this cures medical conditions. I am not saying throw away your medications. If you have concerns, talk to your doctor first, especially if you have skin sensitivity or advanced health issues. But what I am saying is, this technique doesn't force your body with chemicals. It supports your body's natural blueprint. And most men over 60 have never, ever been told they can do that. Now, before I give you the full protocol, I want to explain why this matters emotionally. Because you're not just fighting a physical challenge, you're fighting something invisible. Picture this. You're in bed next to your partner. The moment is right. But instead of excitement, you feel hesitation. Not because you don't want it. Because you're terrified your body might not respond. That fear, that hesitation, steals intimacy long before any physical failure happens. And that is one of the most painful things men tell me. Doc, I avoid trying, because failing would break me. I want you to breathe for a second and hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not past your prime. Your body hasn't given up. It just needs a reminder. One of my patients, we'll call him James, came to me at 68 years old. He said, I feel invisible as a man. He'd stopped initiating intimacy. He'd stopped joking with his wife the way he used to. His joy was shrinking with his confidence. He tried pills. Sometimes they worked. Sometimes they made his heart race. He hated relying on them, the clock watching, the anxiety. Then, and this is where I ate my words, he told me he'd found something online, a European men's wellness forum. And he'd been secretly trying a nighttime oil routine for 3 weeks before seeing me. At his appointment, I noticed something strange in his labs. His morning testosterone levels were higher, significantly, 520 nanograms per deciliter, up from 340. I said, what changed? He told me, magnesium oil, on the boys every night. I'll admit I laughed. You did what? I really thought he was joking. Then he told me he also used castor oil, massaging the perineum gently at night. And his exact words were, it feels like something is switching back on. He wasn't exaggerating. His morning erections returned. His wife noticed he was smiling more. He carried himself differently. Confidence is a drug, and a good one. So I tested his idea with other patients. Quietly, at first. And again and again and again. I saw improvements. Sometimes small at first, a little more morning firmness, stronger sensation. Sometimes dramatic. Let me explain why in plain English. When you sleep, your brain sends out a powerful hormone called luteinizing hormone, or LH. That's the signal telling your testicles, make testosterone now. But if your Leydig cells don't have magnesium, they ignore the signal. No surge or nighttime erections. The tissue inside the penis doesn't stretch. Elasticity decreases. Response time slows. And testosterone doesn't just affect desire. It affects your muscle tone, your stamina, your mood, your drive to initiate closeness. All the habits that keep intimacy alive. So we restore the system from both ends. Magnesium oil supports the hormone surge. Castor oil restores blood flow and nerve sensitivity. Hormones want to rise. Blood wants to rush. Nerves want to feel. Your body is on your side. You just have to give it the push it needs. What do you actually do tonight? Not yet. Because timing is everything, and that's coming up in just a moment. There's something else we must talk about first. The thing most men blame themselves for. Loss of confidence. Every time an erection isn't reliable, a voice whispers, you're not a man. You're failing. You're done. And that voice destroys intimacy far more than physical changes. But that voice is a liar. A physiological glitch does not define your masculinity. If it did, my entire career would be pointless. I want you to remind yourself right now. You are not defective. You are not alone. You are simply uninformed until today. So we will break the vicious cycle. Hormones drop, erections fade, confidence collapses, performance collapses, hormones drop. We interrupt the cycle where it begins. Nighttime function. Which brings us to why this routine must be done right before sleep. And why you absolutely should not skip this part. Because magnesium doesn't just boost testosterone. It's a vascular relaxant. Meaning, the arteries feeding your pelvic region open wider. Blood flow improves. Oxygenation increases. Healing accelerates. That means the erectile tissue, the corpus cavernosum, can stretch the way it's supposed to, protecting elasticity and firmness. And castor oil? It's a deep penetrating anti-inflammatory. It wakes up nerves that have gone quiet. Men tell me sensation returns, sometimes slowly, sometimes surprisingly fast. You are literally helping your body remember what to do, when to respond, how to feel good again. This is not hype. This is anatomy. Now, because I am a responsible doctor, if you are on blood thinners, have open sores, infection, or any severe health issue in that region, talk to your physician first. Always be safe. But for most men, this is a gentle, supportive practice with zero dangerous side effects when used properly. We're getting close to the actionable protocol. And when I say actionable, I mean tonight. You don't need to buy a single supplement before beginning step 1. But before we get into the how, I want to leave you with one more encouraging truth. The body responds faster than you think. Many men feel a difference in 5 to 7 days, sometimes earlier. For others, it builds gradually over 2 to 4 weeks. Every body rewires at its own pace. But almost every man who commits for 30 days experiences some improvement. And that is worth fighting for. In fact, inside my full guide, The Complete Sexual Health Blueprint for Men Over 50, I give men step-by-step tracking pages so you can actually measure your progress and see your confidence rise again. There's a link in the description if you want to get it before it's gone. But stay with me here, because now we are finally ready. Alright, let's get into exactly what you'll do tonight. Because knowledge is useless if it just sits in your head. The real transformation happens when you apply it to your body consistently. And this is simple. You're going to hear this and think, how did nobody tell me sooner? Remember, your goal is to support your body during the exact window that testosterone is supposed to surge, between 2 and 4 a.m. That means we start preparing 30 to 60 minutes before bed. When you're winding down, let's break down the hybrid protocol now. Step 1. Clean, dry, calm. After your evening shower, make sure the scrotal area and the skin underneath, the perineum, are completely dry. Moisture blocks absorption. And if you can, take a moment to let the body know this is about relaxation, not performance. You're not trying to force anything. You're inviting your body to reset. Step 2. The magnesium oil. You're looking for magnesium chloride oil, not Epsom salt. Magnesium chloride is what the Leydig cells use most efficiently. Pour about a teaspoon into your palm. If your skin is sensitive and it tingles too sharply the first time, dilute it with a few drops of water. The tingling usually fades after a few days as your tissue becomes more receptive. Rub your hands together to warm the oil slightly, and gently apply it to the scrotal skin only, not inside the body. Slow, smooth movements. No squeezing. Just contact and warmth. Think of it like you're coating the surface to prepare the deeper tissue for what's coming later tonight. This alone, done consistently, has brought men back from the edge of giving up. But now we add what turns some improvement into shockingly noticeable improvement. Step 3. The castor oil activation. Castor oil does not replace magnesium. It enhances blood flow and nerve activation. Place a small amount, a thumbnail-sized dab, on the perineum. That small zone is packed with arteries and nerve branches that control erections. This is the area most men never think about, but every erection depends on it. Use gentle but intentional circular motions. Imagine you're encouraging that tissue to soften, expand, and wake up. This should feel soothing, never painful. If something hurts, stop. Pain shuts down arousal pathways. This is a cooperation with your body, not a battle against it. Step 4. Absorption and stillness. This may be the hardest part for high-achieving men. You simply wait. Let the oils absorb for at least 5 minutes before dressing. Then go to bed. No screens. No scrolling. No stress hormones. Your body needs to shift into the stage where hormone signals can travel freely. Magnesium continues to absorb for 6 to 8 hours, which means your Leydig cells will have what they need exactly when that 2 to 4 a.m. command arrives. Do this every night for the first 30 days. Then 4 to 5 times per week for maintenance. Now what should you expect? Many men feel a small warmth or tingling sensation around the scrotum within minutes. Some describe a gentle buzzing, deeper inside the pelvic floor. That's the nerves waking up. Others notice increased fullness in the morning after just a few nights. Let me show you how real this is with 3 more quick reviews. Michael, 63, wrote that he suddenly felt playful with his wife again, because he trusted his body. Rob, 72, said he hadn't had a full morning erection in 12 years, until week 2. Daniel, 66, reported better bladder control, fewer nighttime trips, more sleep, and yes, better intimacy. These aren't men who suddenly became 25 again. These are men who regained the confidence of being capable. Now, I want to prepare you for something that almost always happens around week 2 or 3. Your brain will say, "Is this really working? Maybe the change is in my head." That doubt is normal. Your brain has been protecting you from disappointment. But if you stay consistent, the wins compound. I always tell my patients, show up every night. Even on nights you don't feel like it, because those nights make the biggest difference. That's when discipline builds desire back into your life. Now, let me clear up some common mistakes that sabotage results. Mistake number 1. Using too much oil. More doesn't equal better. You want absorption, not a slippery mess. Mistake number 2. Rushing the process. If you rush and wipe off the oils too soon, you're cheating yourself out of benefits. Mistake number 3. Doing this after scrolling or watching stressful TV. Cortisol, the stress hormone, will block the testosterone surge. Mistake number 4. Expecting overnight miracles. Remember, this is biology, not magic. Give your body the chance to prove what it can still do. Now I want to address something deeper. Because men tell me this in whispers, like it's taboo. I don't feel like myself anymore. Let me say this clearly. Your performance does not define your worth. But restoring your performance restores parts of you that feel lost. Your posture changes. Your eyes look brighter. Your sense of purpose returns. Your partner sees the man they fell in love with, confident, bold, alive. You have not run out of time. Your body is not finished with you. One of my favorite quotes that my patients repeat back to me is, "Hope feels like youth returning to the body." That's exactly what this is. Hope that feels physical. And I want to tell you one more part of James' story. When he came back 3 months into this routine, he didn't talk about testosterone numbers first. He told me, "I kissed my wife in the kitchen, and she kissed me back like she used to." That is why this matters. It's not the oil. It's not the technique. It's not even the erections. It's the life that returns when intimacy stops being a source of stress. If you commit, this can happen for you too. Now, I want you to know exactly how to measure progress because progress builds motivation. You'll look for 4 categories of change. Morning firmness. Even a 10% improvement means systems are turning back on. Sensitivity. More pleasurable signals from touch. Duration. Blood flow sustained longer without fading. Confidence. Your brain stops questioning itself before intimacy. These are not guesses. These are milestones. Inside my ebook, The Complete Sexual Health Blueprint for Men Over 50, I give you a simple self-check system to track those improvements week by week, so the progress becomes impossible to ignore. If you want it, the link is in the description. But let's finish strong here first. I want to transition into something important. Why this is also a health warning you should not ignore. Every time the body fails to produce nighttime erections, your erectile tissue goes without oxygen. Over time, this can lead to a process called fibrosis, a stiffening of the tissue that makes erections harder to achieve and maintain. Think of it like a rubber band that hasn't been stretched for years. It becomes rigid. That rigidity is the real danger, because once enough fibrosis occurs, the road back becomes longer. Every night without support equals accelerated decline. Every night with support equals repair and recovery. So tonight matters. Tomorrow night matters. Next week matters. This is your turning point. And before we transition to our wrap-up and next action steps, let me give you one more reason this protocol is powerful. It gives you control again. You don't have to wait for a pill to kick in. You don't have to plan intimacy like a business meeting. You don't have to fear being caught off guard. Your confidence comes from knowing, my body is ready whenever passion arrives. That is freedom. And you deserve that freedom. Now I'm going to bring us home with 3 powerful messages and your calls to action. First, your future starts tonight. You came here looking for a solution, not excuses. So start. Even if you doubt, start. Second, you are not alone. Millions of men over 60 are silently struggling with the exact same issue. The only difference is some accept decline, and others decide to rise again. Third, this channel exists for you. For your confidence. For your relationships. For your legacy as a man who never stopped caring about the things that make life worth living. So here's what I want you to do right now. Because engagement controls whether YouTube shows this help to men who urgently need it. Hit the subscribe button, not for me, for you. And for every future version of you that wants to feel strong, capable, and desired. YouTube only pushes these videos to you if you subscribe. And if you miss the next protocol, you're missing the next stage of your comeback. And you deserve that comeback. Then privately, send this video to one man you care about. A friend, a brother, a colleague, a former teammate. Because he will never ask for help out of fear. But he will watch a video alone and find hope again.